succumb to frenzy or rage or greed, that we figure out a solution without destroying the things that we love. So his hair's falling out.
Yeah. And he's losing weight.
Since basically the same period of time? Hi. Our water was perfect.
And it's gurgling.
Oh, wow. So that's the sample.
This is, it's all settled out.
Right.
But that's what our water looked like.
That came just out of the tap?
Out of the tap.
Right.
So in 3 weeks, they contacted Mike by phone and said, we've tested your water. There's nothing wrong with your water.
With this?
With this. There's nothing wrong with the water that can be affected by the oil and gas production in your area.
So the truck.
Oh, yeah, I saw it go up for a second.
Yeah. We'll just give it a second here.
Whoa, Jesus Christ.
That's the best I've done. I smell hair.
Oh, damn. The big green building next to Lewis's house contains 2 cisterns that Encana fills up twice a week.
I can show you the water.
So these are 2 big water tanks that they're filling up for you. Why are they bringing it?
Tell me. If nothing's wrong, why are they bringing it?
So you actually hired a hydrogeologist to figure out what was going on around here?
Yeah.
And what did he say?
He said that they got everything intermingled. When they do anything like frack it, they're going to intermingle everything.
You can already see you're going to see little pearls of stuff come out of it, like oil. I just already saw one over here.
And the water that comes out of Lewis Meek's original well is only good for some bizarre science experiments and brain-altering recreational activities. Oh, man.
Tell me you drink that.
No way.
Tell me there ain't nothing wrong with this water.
It smelled like turpentine. That chemical smell that goes straight to your head and gets you dizzy almost immediately.
Here's the thing, I think it's criminal. What would happen if I took some chemicals like I got and took them to, like, the big bossy in Canada?
John Fenton describes his home being surrounded by venting condensate tanks. At times, the fumes from the condensate tanks are so strong, they surround the house in a cloud of toxic vapor.
And you can come out here when the sun's coming up, and the air is just...
To gas companies for exploration and drilling. The derrick tower that you see is the drill rig. The drill rig moves in for 3 to 4 weeks, drilling a hole that's anywhere between 11 and 8,000 feet down to the shale formation. Each well completion, that is, the initial drilling phase plus the first frack job, requires 1,150 truck trips. The breakdown goes like this: drilling rig mobilization and drill pad and road construction, 10 to 45 truckloads. Drilling rig, 30 truckloads. Drilling fluid and materials, 25 to 50 truckloads. Drilling equipment, casing, drill pipe, etc., 25 to 50 truckloads. Completion rig, mobilization, and demobilization, about 15 truckloads. Completion fluid and materials, 10 to 20 truckloads. Completion equipment, 5 truckloads. Hydraulic fracture equipment, pump trucks, and tanks equals 150 to 200 truckloads. And here's the big one: hydraulic fracture water. For each well, 400 to 600 tanker trucks. 400 to 600 tanker trucks. Hydraulic fracture sand, 20 to 25 trucks. Flow back water removal, 200 to 300 truckloads. Which means that all the water that goes down, only about half of it comes back up. What you see here is the flowback pit of what you call flowback water, frack water, or what the industry likes to call produced water. Before the water can be hauled away and disposed of somewhere, it has to be emptied into a pit, an earthen pit or a clay pit, sometimes a lined pit, but a pit where a lot of it can seep right back down into the ground. Colored flags. I have no idea what those are there for. Maybe it's the grand opening of a new pit. I mentioned the problem of water removal, 200 to 300 trucks per well. That's a lot of water to clean. To get around this problem, the industry employs evaporation sprayers. In the flowback pits, the water is sprayed into the air in the sunlight so that it evaporates faster. Now, of course, you're probably saying to yourself, that's insane. That water contains all the fracking chemicals, which are toxic, and all the volatile organics, which are also toxic. They create ozone, hazardous air pollutants, and they fall down in the form of chemical or acid rain on the grasslands. After a while, a gas rig just seemed like a car made in 1890. A car without a windshield, without safety bolts to hold the seats in, without an airbag, without seat belts, without crash test ratings. Something fundamentally unsafe. If you think about a car made today, there are probably thousands and thousands of safety features. Looking at these rigs, I couldn't help but imagine of the hundreds of safety features that might be implemented, including harnessing volatile organics, storing toxic wastes off-site or not on the ground, non-toxic fracking fluids, hundreds of ways that we might improve upon, or just say the hell with it. Can't we build a solar panel instead? I zipped around. I got lost on the snaking, winding roads that lead in and out of the gas fields that aren't marked. Each access road leading to one, to another site, to another site, to another site. Nobody was monitoring it. I could drive right up wherever I wanted. It was BLM land. It was mine. It belonged to every United States citizen. No one told me to leave. No one told me I shouldn't be there. And apparently, there were no restrictions on banjo playing either.
After her first big knockdown exposure, she wasn't in very good shape, but then just a couple of years ago,
D. Hoffmeister's gas well exploded. The condensate tanks caught fire, and the rig was consumed.
At 3 in the morning, we heard these pops. Our son got up to go look outside, and he had to run back in because the deck was so hot, he was burning. And I opened my eyes, and I couldn't keep them open because everything started
Up beyond that, and it's on down also. It goes all the way down, probably a quarter of a mile, half a mile.
Because it's really bubbling out here, just like Steve said. It's like a Pepsi bottle.
You ready?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, it burns.
Yeah, I'd say.
Keep your face out.
That's Divided Creek. That is where the seep occurred in 2008 in the summer. There was dead crawdads, there was dead rabbits, dead birds, which I still have the bodies.
You have the bodies?
I have the bodies in the freezer.
House?
Yeah,
in the freezer?
because even DOW hasn't been able in almost a year to figure out who to send them to. And
this is all in Canada?
Yeah.
You feel like you don't want to sit down or get in the water?
Yeah, because you don't know. You don't know. My dad, he was down here all the time in the summertime and drinking out of the creek because the creek was good creek water.
Sure.
The year of the seep, it was discovered in April. He'd been drinking out of the creek for a month. He was dead 2 years later of pancreatic cancer.
There are no weeds in the funnel. We're taking the weeds out. We're just going to do the gas same way. Cover the seep. Now, the whole seep's not covered. It's still bubbling all around it. All right, you ready? Now, that's still burning yellow. Now, this is 12 inches high, and the flame's going up probably another 12 inches, so you got 2 feet there.
Were they fined for Divide Creek seep?
Yeah, biggest fine in Colorado history. $371,000. I don't think it bankrupted the company. The corporate business model is to come into an area, develop it as fast as you can, and if you trash anything, you make the people who you impact prove it. You make them argue it in a court of law, and the last person standing gets bought off and you move on. God, you remember that dream? This is it. There's one bird. In the summer of 2008, all this black stuff with diesel, organic stuff came up and came into the creek. We had a kind of a mass die-off. Get out of here. Ended up in the freezer as specimens. That's a dove, and this is the rabbit. He was right down there by the seep. Right down there where propane and ethane was found in the groundwater. This just broke my heart. Look at this little guy. He didn't even have a chance.
Oh, yeah. Did you ever think that you'd be freezing rabbits, doves, and animals in your freezer? That you wanted to get autopsied?
No, that's probably one of the creepiest things. This is so foreign and creepy and alien to me. To have these critters just die and leave, to try to preserve them, it's creepy and weird and unnatural.
And you certainly don't want to drink a surfactant. Everything that enters one of your cells enters through a surface.
Do it again, Pops.
A surfactant will allow oil or other substances to pass through surfaces by dissolving them. So if a surfactant gets into a stream near fish, it'll dissolve the fish's gills. So what could one little jar of yellowish-brownish liquid from Demick prove?